It's been so long since we've seen Khamzat fight, and it's been a year since we've seen him last fight in the octagon, and that was against Kevin Holland. Up until he fought Kamaru Usman, and which Usman stepped up on short notice. Now, to talk about the fight again, I honestly have to say Kamaru Usman really surprised me on how well he did, especially at another weight class, which is kind of alarming, to be honest, for Khamzat, since Chimaev's been at 185 and he's been there for a while, over a year now. So to see him struggle that much against Kamaru Usman, and granted, yes, it is Kamaru Usman, he's one of the greatest UFC welterweight champions of all time, it's still like something I didn't really expect. I thought Chimaev was going to run straight through him, honestly. And to see him struggle that much against Kamaru Usman, in which I thought Usman was going to get finished in that first round, you know, when Khamzat had a few chokes in, a few cranks, I thought that Usman was done for, to be honest. Now to see him come back from that, and in my opinion, I think Usman won 2 and 3. And you could argue that the first round was a 10-8, which will make it a draw, at least. I don't think Khamzat really won that fight, which makes it even worse because I come to find out that Khamzat has a few weaknesses. His striking isn't as clean. His cardio is questionable, especially at middleweight. He kind of slows down. He slowed down against Gilbert Burns, but I gave him a pass because that was a really, really high-paced fight between the two. And to see Gilbert Burns just give it to Khamzat like that, and to be fair, Chimaev did give it back. Of course, like, they were both going to gas out. Like, it was just inevitable. So to see that, I'll allow that, you know. But for Khamzat to have this much trouble against Kamaru Usman, it kind of gives me doubt about him fighting in the middleweight, especially the future going forward, because against Sean, unless he submits Sean in the first round, which I'm not going to lie, it's kind of possible, right? I don't see him becoming UFC champion. At least not the UFC middleweight champion, you know. He was better at welterweight if you ask me, but now I think he's too big for that. I don't think he can cut down again. In all fairness, that's alright because, you know, Khamzat's a big guy and he did miss weight by quite a bit before when he was scheduled to fight Nate Diaz. Let's not even talk about that. Yeah, but Khamzat, he's not the guy you think he is. Like, he doesn't run through top contenders like we all thought he would be. And to be fair, it's getting steep. Like, the competition here, Kamaru Usman, Robert Whittaker, Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, who's stylistically a better matchup than everyone else in the middleweight division for Khamzat. It's still not an easy fight in my opinion. Now, you're gonna be like, the thing is, he choked out Kevin Holland in the first round. That was cool. But again, let's be honest, he kind of caught him off guard and he kind of did a that cheap glove touch thing where he dived in for the legs. Again, like, Kamaru isn't even a middleweight and he stepped up on short notice. Imagine if Kamaru had a full camp and he knew he was going to fight Khamzat. He probably would have won and Khamzat probably would have lost. Let's be real. So to see Kamaru Usman give it to Khamzat like that, and especially in the stand-up, like, yeah, sure, Khamzat took him down in round 2 at the end, and it still wasn't really impressive because by like the midway of the fight, Khamzat was shooting from a distance and he couldn't even get Usman down. It was that bad. And he seemed pretty tired as well. And Usman's gas tank was affected, which usually never... I mean, Usman couldn't even step on the gas like that because he was also gassed because he stepped up on short notice. So imagine a full, healthy Kamaru Usman stepping up on short notice. And one that's not even out of his prime, unlike the one we have right now, in my opinion. Usman's past his prime as of right now. He's not totally, like, you know, washed, but he's clearly not at the level he was, for example, when he fought Gilbert Burns, in my opinion. To see Khamzat stagnating like this, in my opinion, is not really a good sign. Especially going up against a guy like Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. And now, Darren Till did take down Dricus du Plessis, but again, it's the worry in me that makes me think that Dricus is just going to bulldoze through Khamzat through pure strength. And he can do that, honestly. It might not seem possible or likely, but honestly, like, Dricus, he's no joke. Especially guys like Robert Whittaker. Whittaker would destroy Khamzat. Let's not even talk about that. That's like a nightmare matchup. One of the best anti-wrestlers in MMA history going up against Khamzat. And especially since the difference in striking is so vast between Robert and Khamzat, is just going to be a nightmare for Khamzat Chimaev. That's why I don't really like his chances at middleweight. And now at welterweight, he has a lot more wrestlers, and the champion right now is a striker, that being Leon Edwards. And if Colby beats Leon Edwards, then Khamzat has a legitimate chance of being the welterweight champion. So in my opinion, I think Khamzat should go down and prove his worth there, because at middleweight, his chances are not looking that, you know, good, honestly. But who knows, that fight could be a one-off and Khamzat could really go at it and beat Sean Strickland, and then we have a new middleweight champion. But honestly, I don't like the chances of this. I do not like him going up to middleweight and fighting there. Honestly, I think he should have stayed at welterweight. To be honest, if this fight, you know, the Kamaru Usman and Chimaev fight happened at welterweight, Usman would have probably gotten the W, let's be real. But again, I still like his chances more down there. It still seems, semi-bright for Khamzat, but I don't know where he's going to go. If he fights the champion right now, I wouldn't bet on his chances to win, honestly. That's me being very honest. But hey, who knows? I hope that Khamzat proves me wrong, because I really like his star power in the UFC. I think he could do waves right here. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys agree or if you guys disagree. I'd like to know you guys' thoughts. Yeah, I'm not always right on these topics, but I like to, vent and give my opinions, But hey, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.